to the cage, Mr. Kurt Smith.
And welcome back to Colorado Combat Club 8 from the heart of the Steel City down here in Pueblo, Colorado. We are in the Pueblo Convention Center. I'm Jordan Kurtz, sitting alongside Josh Frem, the LFA 2020 Male Fighter of the Year. Getting into the main card this evening, we have an amateur welterweight bout. This will be 3 rounds by 3 minutes, folks. First to the cage, we have Kurt Diesel Smith, making his way from Factory X, coming to you by way in the hometown of Crystal Lake, Illinois. He does his strength and conditioning at Landau Performance. Kurt Diesel describes himself as a freestyle fighter. Kurt, when you see him walk into the cage, folks, the nickname Diesel is as fitting as you could find.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find another guy, a normal guy that looks like Kurt Smith. The dude is stacked, athletic, was a D1 football player. The guy is an athlete all around.
Absolutely. You know, a kid like Kurt Smith has also been a workhorse in the gym as far as trying to round off his technique. Obviously, when you come in looking like you're sculpted out of marble, like some sort of Adonis Greek god,
Yeah.
You've been putting in your time as far as your strength and conditioning and in the weight room, but it's another thing to also round off that skill set and put your time in chopping wood, carrying water in that martial arts gym.
Yeah, and that's what Kurt's been doing. He's been putting the time in, putting the work in. He's in the gym. He's getting his privates. He's doing his strength conditioning. Kurt, Jordan, do you believe this? Kurt has over a 46-inch vertical.
It's absolutely insane, but I'm also not shocked, Josh.
Not surprised.
Just like I say, when you take a look at this kid, everything about this kid says athlete. He's cornered by Markel Medeiros as well as Jordan Titoni. Mr. Medeiros is our former Colorado Combat Club amateur lightweight champion. That is the belt that will be on the line tonight in the main event. Mr. Medeiros has made his way into the professional ranks where he currently sits undefeated.
And here we have Jordan. We have Anthony Camacho making his way out. Hometown out of El Paso, Texas, fighting out of Zen Martial Arts. Says here he's a freestyle fighter and he trains out of G4.
And Josh, you know, as far as this matchup goes, we're seeing a couple of guys who are still earlier on within their amateur career, only 3 total fights experience between them. But when we take a look in terms of these guys and just what they mentioned to us as far as their interests, their desires, I expect this to be another incredible matchup to kick off this main card here for us. When we see a guy like Anthony Camacho say that his favorite martial arts movie was Vision Quest,
That's
dedication.
That's
That means
dedication for sure.
for the young kids out there, there's not a lot of younger individuals that I feel like even know what Vision Quest is.
No.
So to have that list, you're someone who's involved. He also lists his favorite fighter as Nick Diaz. So this is a kid who seems to have himself fully enthralled with the mixed martial arts world. Whereas on the flip side, you see Kurt Diesel, who he talks about Into the Dragon being one of his favorite martial arts entertainment shows. Now, Mr. Diesel says that he loves watching guys like Stylebender and Brandon Royval. He wants to make a statement because his talent and his abilities, he does not believe are amateur. He believes that he is growing completely as a full mixed martial art.
Fighting out of the blue corner. He also took the scales at 170 pounds on the dot. He comes to us with an unblemished record of 1 win and no defeats. He travels all the way from El Paso, Texas. He represents MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Mr. Anthony Camacho! Your third man in the cage, Mr. Joe Colca.
Both of these guys out here looking focused as all ever.
Both guys yesterday at the weigh-ins and our fighter interviews said that they love to compete. So you can only imagine that once the action starts here momentarily, that we're going to see them meet right in the middle and start to scrap like cats and dogs.
And here we go.
And the first fight of the main card here at Colorado Combat Club 8 is underway. We have Kurt Diesel Smith in the black and gold trunks, and we have Anthony Camacho rocking the olive green trunks.
Kurt Diesel coming out with these front low leg kicks, setting the pace, keeping his range.
Nice, beautiful, funnel. 2 base 3.
We see kind of the wide almost karate style stance from Camacho, but Camacho also loves to wrestle. Obviously, he has the Team Texas Wrestling tattoo on his right shoulder blade.
I saw that wrestling tattoo. It's interesting he's coming out here with the karate stance.
It's kind of Gastelum-ish.
Almost Gastelum, yeah. Nice right hand down the middle by Kurt Diesel.
Both guys having some respect for each other right now at the moment, feeling each other out, trying to figure out where that entry point is when they can really make their move.
You know, for amateurs, Jordan, they're out here, they're very methodical. You can see the feints. The feints are coming in really nicely. Ooh, nice kick, just missed by Kurt Diesel.
Both guys are mixing it up a little bit. They're pawing with their jab. Neither guy's really doing a whole ton of damage right now, but we do see a little bit more of the level changing coming from Kurt Smith. Kurt is mixing in a little bit more of a different array of punches as well.
That lead low kick's working for him.
Next time, find that tower as well at that angle, please.
And as you mentioned with that low leg kick, we do start to see a little bit of swelling on the right knee, on the back of the right knee, I should say, of Anthony Camacho. Anthony Camacho, though, with a push kick right at the middle to Kurt Smith.
Very good here. Kurt's out here pushing the pace, dictating where this fight's going to go. Another nice lead low kick. Keep chopping at those legs.
As you mentioned, we don't see a whole lot of higher level techniques sometimes in the amateur ranks, but we've seen a question mark kick already from
Yes, we
Kurt
have.
Smith. That's evolution in his game alone. The last time that we saw Kurt Smith in the octagon was over a year ago for Colorado Combat Club 5. That was in March of 2020, or excuse me, February of 2020, just before everything had shut down for a while. So massive amounts of growth in the game from Kurt Smith right now.
You know, Camacho's out here sporting one of the nicer wife beater tans I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's a nice little farmer's tan action going on right there. Josh, you'd almost wonder, that looks like a singlet.
It does. Was he out in the sun training in a singlet? Might have been.
Never know. I'm just adding to the lore of him being a wrestler in this matchup.
Nice lead low kick.
But Josh, a reason why that question mark kick I feel like is worth noting is we've seen Kurt Smith find some success with a low kick to the leg. As he continues to throw that kick down low, eventually he's going to be able to create that opportunity to where the bait is taken from Anthony Camacho to defend the low kick, and then that shin is going to come right up over the top of the shoulder and find its way to the jaw.
Yeah, and he's setting up those kicks very nice. And going back to speaking on your the evolution of Kurt Smith here, correct, like since the last time we've seen him fight, he has put in the work, and it shows. He looks like a much better, well-rounded fighter than he did his last outing.
Yeah, a lot of growth from Kurt Smith. It looks like there's a little bit of water action going on inside of the cage. Corner of Kurt Smith, George Tony is getting it all wiped up right here.
Top-notch quality corner work over there by Jordan Totoni and Markel Monderos.
Now, on the flip side, in the blue corner, what advice are you offering if you're the Zen martial arts crew to Anthony Camacho?
I mean, if I'm in his corner, I'm saying look to find a fit-in. Get a takedown. Go to your base. If you're a wrestler, why not take someone into your world?
But then again, to see Camacho, even some level changes and some feints. He stayed tall.
Some feints, some changes. But he is the longer fighter, Camacho, so maybe he wants to work his striking out here. But it looks like Kurt is just setting everything up, looking very good with his feints, his jabs.
Camacho is not afraid to stand in the pocket, though, right there with him. He's really not backing up too much. He's drawn himself just out of range when he needs to. Now, we are seeing some naked kicks being thrown. So from either guy, at our last show, Josh, at Colorado Combat Club 7, we saw a naked kick thrown that resulted in a 15-second knockout from Alonzo Adams that was the knockout of the night. So sometimes we do see those technical flaws, if you will, at this level to where, and we even see it at the highest level at times, to where guys will throw that kick naked, and you leave yourself especially vulnerable for that counter right down the chute.
Yes, yeah. In the amateurs, you can probably get away with throwing naked kicks, and I'll be the first one. Nice shot we have here by Camacho, but I'll be the first one to tell you got to set those kicks up, because if you throw a naked kick and it's blocked, prime real estate for a straight down the pipe.
And Kurt Smith was able to get himself right back up to the feet right off of the takedown. Now he is pressing Anthony Camacho up against the fence. Coach Tony from Kurt Smith's corner is asking for him to grab the single leg takedown that may be available with a little bit of a pump and dump action, but Anthony Camacho was able to get his back off the cage, and both fighters are back now to the center of the octagon.
Hey, 2 base 3, go.
Kurt Diesel is eating up that lead leg of Camacho.
And what I'm liking too from Kurt is he's showing hands before he enters with that low kick a lot of times, and he's mixing up his levels. That's some of the growth that we're really talking about. You see him go high, then he drops low to attack the base, and then he's finishing with a kick. So he's starting to put together these combinations that maybe 1 and 2 aren't getting through or touching, but 3, 4, and 5 within that sequence, when he's throwing these long chain combinations, are starting to find their mark.
Yeah, and that speaks so much to his growth. You know, for Camacho, I want to see Camacho put a little bit more blending. Like he's throwing these naked kicks, these jabs, but he's not blending as much. You saw he had a very nice shot, looked like a very smooth takedown, but
and a nice straight hand, though.
Nice right hand.
That was a nice 2 from Camacho right there. He's pumping the jab a lot, so he's at least flashing hands in the face of Kurt Smith, but along with that, he's not really level changing a whole lot, and he's not using his hips to feint really to threaten those takedowns or the kicking opportunities, whereas Kurt Smith is doing that. He's having a lot of solid head movement right now at this point, and he's using that movement to create angles and striking opportunities.
Yes, and that's just one thing that Camacho is missing, is just that movement, the feints. He's throwing single pot shots, and he'll learn you can't do that. You got to set up combos like his opponent Kurt right now. He's setting up combos, creating angles, creating opportunities for yourself to strike.
Certainly. And as we enter this third round, it's still anybody's fight, folks. I do have to believe that Kurt Smith is probably up on the scorecards right now, but we still see Anthony Camacho standing in the exchange every single time. He's not really bailing out, and he's not showing those signs of breaking just yet.
No.
He's taken a lot of damage. There is a lot of swelling and welting going on his right leg. He's walking a little bit gingerly on it, but the kid has a lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, he's still upstanding. He doesn't look like he's breathing too heavy. Looks like he's in pretty good shape. But then we have Kurt Smith over here just ready to go.
What are you looking to see from Kurt Smith in this round, Josh?
I'm looking for Kurt Smith to just turn it up a little bit. You know, he has I believe both rounds in the bag, but be smart, but go out here and nice, set it up. Kurt's out here looking fluid, looking like a well-rounded martial artist. Just turn up the pace and go get a finish.
Now, one thing that I am noticing from Kurt Smith, though, is he'll find his mark a couple of times.
Nice
and
hit
then
by
he
Camacho.
backs out to reset as opposed to keeping the foot on the gas. Personally, I think that he's had a couple of opportunities to where if he were to have stuck with it.
Camacho here on a standing guillotine. Kurt's going to want to get to the other side, get to the opposite side of that guillotine. Do not want to get stuck here, Jordan.
And it looks like he's already out of it right there.
He is out. Nice takedown by Kurt. Ended up on top. Got out of that guillotine.
Josh, I'm going to be completely real with you. When you have a neck and traps as big as Kurt Smith's, you're hard to choke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he even got his arms in there.
That's a very well point right there. But that also goes to speak to the grappling background of somebody like Anthony Camacho.
Yeah.
And as soon as he gets up, Kurt Diesel attacks for the double leg right away. Slight fence grab right there, missed by the referee.
But it doesn't matter because Kurt Smith got him down. He is on top, trying to pressure, keeping his hips in, you know, like we didn't. That you saw with a past amateur fight that we watched, they weren't, the one guy wasn't keeping his hips in. Here we have Kurt keeping his hips in, pressuring.
So right now from this front headlock position, I would like to see Kurt really work for the snap down. Kurt has a very strong guillotine as well as his darce.
Hey, elbows tight.
With
elbows
arms like
tight,
that, my
snap
man,
down.
you're talking about a
Snap
squeeze.
down.
So if he really snaps him down and flattens out the posture of Anthony Camacho, that may be where he looks to find a third round finish and our first submission of the night.
Now we have Camacho back up, still in the front head. Kurt lets him out of it.
But a lot of times, though, too, Josh, we see wrestlers very comfortable in that front headlock
Very
position. So I
comfortable.
think that kind of speaks to the strength of Anthony Camacho there. But Kurt Smith is not afraid to mix it up, and
Nice
he's
shot by
double-legging the
Kurt
wrestler
Smith,
all night
another
long.
double leg ending on top.
Biceps. Hands on biceps. Let's get those hands on the biceps, Kurt.
Would love to see Kurt push him to the cage and start landing some ground and pound. But he definitely wants to get his hands off the mat, Jordan. You don't want to leave your hands on the mat.
We got 30 left.
You definitely don't want to leave your hands on the mat based off of the potential for submission attacks out there. Now, sometimes we have to question with this stage of these guys being so early in their careers, sometimes do these fighters have that within their arsenal of attacks? Or especially,
Yeah.
you know, say if someone who has a strong wrestling base who is not as comfortable on their back, or maybe they've done a lot of jiu-jitsu, but they're not used to playing off of their
Playing
back.
off their back.
They're used to being that top pressure guy. It's a completely different skill set to be able to work off of the back.
That is correct. And we have the end of the third round. Very good fight by both competitors. I do believe Kurt might have pulled that one out 3-0, but what a tough showing by Anthony Camacho. Good heart. Just Kurt was the man who kept pushing the feints, pushing the pace.
Absolutely. You know, I think that we saw a fair amount of more complex or more advanced level combinations coming from Kurt Smith within this contest. The decision came from the Chief Inspector, Eric Hines, to our ring announcer, Aaron Varel, very quickly. So I do believe that this may fall in line with your thoughts right there, Josh. It was probably a fairly easy one for the judges to figure out in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges have come to a decision. All of you judges see it the same. 30-27. Declaring your winner and fighting out of the red corner, Mr. Kurt Smith!
And just like we thought, Jordan, we got Kurt here with the unanimous decision.
And we'll see what the Diesel has to say.
All right, sir. Welcome back home. Welcome back. So, I have to say, man, after your fight over, it's great to see you back in the cage. It looks like you had a really good game plan, chopping the blade on the outside, staying outside of his power hand because it's southpaw, and you were very, very patient. So that was amazing to see. Was this part of the game plan or going from the beginning?
If it was highlight, I didn't even know this southpaw with us. We just came out here, makes my camp, at your guys. You got me ready for this. It's not who it is. You're not here to talk to me like that.
I can't wait to see you back, sir. Is there some people you would like to thank?
Thank you to my girlfriend, John. My parents. My parents back home. My whole team of factories. All you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Mr. Kurt Smith.
Great showing by Kurt Smith. Probably feels great to get that W under his belt after going, walking out for his last fight and then having to knock